Hello dear students, welcome to the course of Engineering Thermodynamics. Myself Mihir Bisri, Assistant Professor from Mechanical Department of LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. So today we are going to discuss gas power cycle, and first we will start from the very basic cycle, that is Otto cycle. So for understanding of the typical working of Otto cycle, we will observe the diagram shown on the screen. So as you can see, we will first understand the mechanical working of the Otto cycle, and then we will move to the thermodynamic cycle. So remember students, this is the mechanical operation that I am going to discuss in this slide regarding Otto cycle. Okay, so first of all, as you can see on the left hand side, we have one drawing. We have piston cylinder arrangement, right? This is the piston, right? It is enclosed in a cylinder. The cylinder is having two valves. First is inlet valve and second is exhaust valve, right? And the fuel, mixture of fuel and air, you might be aware that first of all, this Otto cycle means what? It will be using petrol as the fuel, right? But here mixture of petrol and air will be supplied as the fuel. Okay, so that is fuel air mixture will pass through this inlet valve. Okay, and this is the ignition system. Generally the spark plug is provided over here, right? Then this is the combustion product outlet. Okay, so that means whatever combustion gases are remained, that will be going outward from this exhaust valve. Okay, so this is the typical arrangement of the diagram. Okay, so we will first understand how this cycle is working. Okay, so let us understand that quickly. Now remember students, this is Otto cycle, and Otto cycle is air standard cycle. Air standard cycle means what? It is assumed that air will be using as a fuel. Okay, so that is the main assumption, and the air is ideal gas also. That is also second assumptions. Okay, so and all processes are reversible, right? So these are the assumptions that you have to consider regarding Otto cycle. Remember, this is ideal cycle. Okay, but here we are discussing first the mechanical cycle. So we will first understand the operations. So in order to understand the operations, first we will start with one number position. So now simultaneously we will observe PV diagram and the block diagram that is shown over here. Okay, so initially let us consider that this is the inner dead center, or you can say the top dead center. Here horizontal piston cylinder arrangement is shown, that is why it is inner dead center. If vertical arrangement will be there, then it will represent the top dead center. So let us say this is the initial position, point number 1, that here we have the piston inner dead center. So this much space is vacant and not occupied by piston. So this is known as clearance volume. Okay students, clearance volume. So that is the volume in the cylinder cavity when the piston is either at inner dead center or top dead center, right? So that is representing point number 1, right? So here if you observe the PV diagram, then the value of 1 is starting from some value of V, right? So here you can see it might be having some value, right? Let us say for example 0.1 meter cube, right? 0.1 meter cube. I'm just giving the example. Okay, so 0.1 meter cube. So it is not 0. Value of 1 is not 0. It is having some value. How much? This much value. Okay, so that is 0.1. So this is known as clearance volume. Okay students. Now further, after clearance volume, see piston is at inner dead center, right? So what will happen? Initially the inlet valve will open. So as soon as the inlet valve will open, so simply this valve will go towards the downward direction, right? Now what will happen students? Inlet valve will open and this piston will move towards the right hand side direction. So that will create suction inside the piston cylinder cavity, and obviously what will happen? The fuel air mixture which is in the pipeline will be having higher pressure than the pressure inside the cylinder cavity. So you know that the fuel will always flow from high pressure to low pressure, right? So that is why this fluid will enter into this cavity. As soon as you will open the inlet valve and as soon as the piston will travel towards the right hand side or outer dead center, then the fuel air mixture will start entering into the cylinder cavity. So here you can appreciate that here you can appreciate that, let me just remove unnecessary terms. Okay, so here you can appreciate that from 1 to 2, that is suction process. So during suction process, the volume is increasing, because you can see that as the piston will move towards the outer dead center, the volume inside the cylinder cavity will tend to increase. That is why on the PV diagram, the volume is increasing. One more thing you should note, students, that is the pressure is remaining constant ideally. Okay, so that is the thing that you have to observe. Okay, pressure will remain constant. Okay, next, point number 2. So that means what? This piston will reach to the outer dead center. It will be somewhere over here. Let us say, for example, for understanding, let me just complete this cylinder, right? And let us, for example, we will understand that, let us consider this is our outer dead center. So here will be the piston, right? So this is the outer dead center. So if the piston is over here, that is point number 2, right? Point number 2. Next, what will happen? Now the inlet valve will get closed. Now this piston, which is at point number 2, will start traveling towards the inner dead center, right? So 2 to 3, that is known as compression process. Okay, so here you can see as the piston will move towards the inner dead center, then the volume of the cavity will decrease, and since you will decrease the volume, the pressure will increase. That is why you can observe that here 2 to 3, during 2 to 3, see the value of volume is decreasing, but the value of pressure is increasing, right? I hope you are clear up to this point. Now again, point number 3, corresponding to that, see the volume is again back to clearance volume, right? So now this is our third position. The piston has reached to the inner dead center, right? Now what will happen? Both valves are closed. Now spark will be provided for just fraction of time in this cavity. So you know that we have entered the fuel air mixture, and that fuel air mixture is compressed, so its pressure and temperature will increase. So now as soon as you will provide the spark during using the spark plug, so combustion will start, right? So that particular process, during which as soon as you will provide the spark and the combustion will process will start, that is very instantaneous process, and that will take very fraction of time, okay, fraction of second. Okay, so that is known as combustion process. So that during that combustion, due to that combustion, what will happen? As soon as you will do the spark and combustion will occur, so the pressure and temperature inside this cavity will increase drastically. So that you can observe during this 3 to 4 process. See, observe that this pressure is increasing, but the volume will be same. Okay, so the volume will be same. That means what? Your piston is still at inner dead center. Okay, students. Now further, what will happen? Now from this is also known as point number 4, right? Now from point number 4, that is inner dead center, now the piston will move towards the outer dead center. Now it is obvious that if you will combust the fuel, then due to pressure and temperature increase, that gas will push the piston toward the outer side, right? So that is known as power stroke, right? So that is 4 to 5. Okay, power stroke, that is nothing but 4 to 5. Clear, students? 4 to 5 process is nothing but power stroke or expansion stroke. Okay, so this is 4 to 5. Again, from 5 number point, the piston will reach to outer dead center, that you can see, and you can observe that and appreciate that if you will do the expansion or power stroke, then obviously the volume will increase and the pressure will decrease. So you can see that from process 4 to 5, that the volume is increasing and the pressure is decreasing, because pressure is on the y-axis, right? Now from 5 to 1, right? From 5 to 1, what will happen? Let us observe that. First, let me remove the unnecessary terms. Okay, now from 5 to 6, right? So from 5 to 6, what will happen? Let us observe that. So here, as soon as your piston has reached to the outer dead center, that was at the exterior point. So now what will happen? Simple, you have all the combustion products inside this cylinder cavity, right? Now you will open the exhaust valve. So as soon as you will open the exhaust valve, then this burnt quantity of gases will be pushed towards the outward side, right? So see, this process is also very instantaneous and it will take very fraction of seconds. Okay, see what will happen here in the piston cylinder cavity, the pressure and temperature is very high, right? So as soon as you will open the exhaust valve, suddenly the pressure will decrease. So that is known as blow down. Okay, that is known as blow down. So during this 5 to 6 process, this blow down will occur. And further, during this 6 to 1 process, the exhaust will be there. Now 6 to 1 is what? See, that means what? This will be your 5 point and also this will be your 6 point, right? Now your exhaust valve is open and the piston will move towards the inner dead center. So this piston will push whatever the combustion gases and products are there. The piston will move them towards the outward pipe. Okay. So this whole combustion gases will move out from the cylinder cavity, right? So that is known as exhaust. Okay. That is 6 to 1. Clear, students? I hope you are clear up to this point. So this is how the mechanical, or it is also known as indicator diagram of the Otto cycle. Now remember one thing, students, that this is ideal indicator diagram. Okay, so if you will plot the real life indicator diagram, then on the PV diagram it will look something like this. See, observe. I will draw it for you like this. So in real life, on the PV diagram, this diagram will look like this. Okay, so that will be the actual diagram. Clear? Now let us understand the thermodynamic Otto cycle. This was the mechanical Otto cycle. Now thermodynamic Otto cycle means what? Now observe that we will transfer these processes, that is first stroke was suction stroke, then compression, then combustion, then power, then blow down, and then exhaust. Right? There were 6 strokes, right? 6 processes corresponding to the mechanical perspective. Now, corresponding to the thermal perspective, there are only 4 processes. See, here if you observe, then this 1 to 2 and 6 to 1 will cancel effect of each other, right? So that is why during the thermodynamic cycle, it is not considered. So that is why you can observe that here there are only 4 processes. And in order to have better idea of the Otto cycle, I have represented PV and TS diagram both simultaneously on the screen. So now let us understand again the processes. Now I will advise you guys to just write down the name of the processes that you are supposed to write in the examination. During 1 to 2, see what will happen. During 1 to 2, simple. Now let me just draw a cylinder over here, so it will be much more easier for you guys to understand, right? So as you can see here, we will draw one cylinder. Okay, and let us consider that this is the position of the piston, that is inner dead center. This is our inner dead center, and let us say this is the position of outer dead center, right? And this outer dead center and inner dead center are analogous to the PV diagram shown, right? So if you observe, then these 2 lines will match, and if you observe, then these 2 lines will also match. I hope you are clear up to this point, students, right? So now we will understand this. See, in order to understand, we will start from point number 1. So 1 to 2, that is here you will have 1 and here you will have 2. So the piston will move toward the inner dead center 1 to 2. So obviously what will happen? Compression will be taking place. So this process 1 to 2 thermodynamic process is known as reversible adiabatic compression. Okay, the meaning of reversible adiabatic compression is what? Let us understand. Reversible, that means what? It can be reversed in opposite direction also. That is known as reversible process. Reversible processes are ideal processes. In actual life, you cannot achieve reversible process. Okay, so reversible, adiabatic. Meaning of adiabatic is what? Meaning of adiabatic is simple. The heat shall not transfer from the cylinder cavity to the outside. So from here, the heat shall not transfer from outside, right? So Q shall be 0, right? Heat shall not transfer from cavity to the atmosphere or from the atmosphere to the cavity. So heat transfer is zero. That is adiabatic. Reversible adiabatic. Compression process. Compression means what? The pressure will increase and volume will decrease. Obvious, right? So here you can see as the piston will move toward the inner dead center, then the pressure is increasing. See, corresponding to point number 1, the pressure is somewhat lower, and corresponding to point number 2, the pressure is somewhat higher. So the pressure has increased during reversible adiabatic process and the volume has decreased during the same process. I hope you are clear up to this point. Now further, the piston has reached to point number 2, that is known as the inner dead center, right? Now at point number 2, what will happen? Now you can see that this much space is there in the cylinder cavity and that space is known as clearance volume. I have already told you in the previous slide, right? So this is the clearance volume. Okay, now at point number 2, what will happen? The spark will take place, and due to the spark, what will happen? Whatever the fuel and air mixture is present in the cylinder cavity, that will be combust, and when it is combust, so simple, the pressure and temperature will increase, right? So let us observe that. So before observing that, one thing to note, students, that this 1 to 2 process, that is reversible adiabatic compression process. Okay, let us observe that on TS diagram also. Now remember, students, reversible adiabatic, the other name for the same process is isentropic process. Okay, so here isentropic means what? Isentropic process means entropy will remain constant. Okay, students, I am repeating again, reversible adiabatic process is also called as isentropic process. Isentropic means what? Entropy will remain constant, and entropy means what? Randomness, order of randomness, right? So here, as during 1 to 2, as you can see, if you think logically, then when piston will move from outer dead center to inner dead center, due to compression, the temperature in the cylinder cavity will increase. So here you can observe and appreciate that during this 1 to 2 process, so if you observe that during 1 to 2 the temperature is increasing, right? But if you observe, then during 1 to 2 this entropy is remaining constant. So S is equal to constant. So that is why entropy constant means what? Isentropic. So on TS diagram, temperature versus entropy diagram, the 1 to 2 line is drawn vertical straight. That will represent what? The entropy will remain constant. Okay, next further, as we were talking, during 2 to 3, what will happen? The spark will take place, and due to that combustion will take place. And as soon as you will combust the product, then the pressure and temperature will increase drastically. So let us observe that on PV diagram first. So here you can see that during the combustion, as soon as the spark will produce and the combustion, all the products, the whole fuel air mixture will get combust. All the particles that are present in the cylinder cavity, that will get combust. So during that process, your piston will remain at inner dead center, right? So that same position. So that is why you can see during 2 to 3, the volume is not getting changed. Okay, during 2 to 3, volume is not getting changed. Let me take another color for 2 to 3 process. Okay, so I am taking this green color for blue color for 2 to 3 process, right? So during 2 to 3, volume is not getting changed because the piston is at inner dead center. Okay, and you can observe that corresponding to 2 point and corresponding to 3 point, the pressure has increased, because as soon as you will do the combustion, the pressure will increase and also the temperature will increase. So let us observe that also. Okay, now this 2 to 3 process, write it down. This process is called as constant volume heat addition process. Okay, I am repeating again, reversible constant volume heat addition process, students. Okay, so reversible means what? If you will reverse the direction of the same, then the process can occur. Now reversible constant volume, as you can see during 2 to 3, the volume is remaining constant, right? So that is also known. Now reversible constant volume heat addition. Why heat addition? Because when you do the spark, so combustion will produce, that means you are adding the heat. That is why heat addition process. Okay, now let us observe the TS diagram. The temperature shall increase, right? So here you can see in the TS diagram, right? In the TS diagram, the corresponding to point number 2 and corresponding to point number 3, if you observe, right? So the temperature will increase from 2 to 3. That is known as constant volume heat addition. Clear? And obviously, what will happen? If you will increase the temperature, then entropy will also increase. So that is why you can see on the x-axis also that during the 2 to 3 process, the entropy will increase. Okay, so that you can appreciate, right, students? If you will decrease the temperature, entropy will decrease. If you will increase the temperature, entropy will increase. Okay, now we have reached to point number 3, right? Now 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is what? So now the piston will move towards the outer dead center, right? So that is known as reversible adiabatic expansion process. Okay, students, reversible adiabatic expansion process, right? So this 3 to 4, reversible means what? You know, adiabatic means what? You know, expansion means what? The piston expansion means what? The volume will increase and the pressure will decrease. Now observe the 3 to 4. Now for 3 to 4, I will take another color. Let me just take another color. Let us take this orange color. Okay. So during this 3 to 4, as you can see, the piston will move toward outwards dead center. So the volume will increase. Okay, students. Volume will increase. Okay. And the pressure will decrease. You can appreciate that also, right? During using this diagram, that the pressure corresponding to 3 and the pressure corresponding to point number 4, right? So both the pressure and volume will change accordingly, right? Reversible adiabatic expansion process. Okay, reversible adiabatic, what is the other word? Isentropic. So that is why if you observe the TS diagram, then in the TS diagram, during the 3 to 4, you can see that the entropy is remaining constant, but the temperature will decrease because expansion will take place. That means temperature will decrease. Okay, next is what? 4 to 1. Let us understand that also. That is also very easy. Okay, so in order to understand 4 to 1, what we can do? Simple. See, correspond. Let me just remove all other terms so it will be easy to understand, right? Now we were at 4 to 1. So during 4 to 1, what will happen? You know that the outlet valve will get opened up, right? So during that, what will happen? Heat will be rejected towards the outward side, right? So when heat will be rejected through the valve, then that is known as a reversible constant volume heat rejection. I have already explained to you that during 4 to 1, the piston will remain at outer dead center. That is why the volume during this process is not getting changed. Okay, but the pressure and temperature will decrease. That you can appreciate using the diagram, right? And obviously, if the pressure and temperature is decreasing, then the entropy will also decrease. So that is why you can appreciate that during 4 to 1, the entropy is decreased and also the temperature is decreased. Okay, students. So these are the 4 main processes of Otto cycle. Now let us discuss about the efficiency of Otto cycle. So in order to understand the efficiency, we will first observe the diagram, that is PV diagram and TS diagram as shown on the screen. I will advise you guys to remember this PV and TS diagram and its pattern, how to draw it. Now one thing you should note, students, that always remember that 2 to 3 is what? Heat addition line, and 4 to 1 is what? Heat rejection line. So always this heat addition line length will be higher than the heat rejection line length. Okay, keep that in your mind when you are drawing the lines. Okay, and same way, this 3 to 4 line, that is vertical straight, is representing the expansion work. So expansion work line will be higher or lengthy than the length of the compression work line. Okay, so keep that in your mind. Now let us understand the phenomena. So now here, heat supplied. So heat supplied is equal to what? Q1 is equal to what? So now you can see and observe that heat is supplied at constant volume, right? So heat supply is also known as Q is equal to MC delta T. Since it is supplied at constant volume, that is why we will take M into CV. Now delta T, so corresponding to heat supply process, what are the endpoints? 2 and 3. So you will take T3 minus T2. Obviously the higher temperature will be the first one minus the lower temperature. Okay, same way heat rejected Q2 is equal to what? So heat rejected Q2 is equal to nothing but what are the endpoints? 4 to 1, and you can observe that during that also volume is remaining constant. That is why MCV T4 minus T1. Okay, students. Now further, efficiency is defined as what? Efficiency is equal to 1 minus heat rejected divided by heat supply. You know that, right? So if you will apply this thing, okay, if you will apply this thing, then substitute the value of Q2 and Q1 in this equation, so you can have this equation, right? In this equation you can see MCB and MCB can get cancelled out, so what we are left with 1 minus T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2. So I have written down that over here. Now let us derive the equation, but first we will observe process 1 to 2. So process 1 to 2 is what? Reversible adiabatic process. So remember students, for any reversible adiabatic process you have to remember PVT correlation, that is pressure, volume and temperature correlation. During your first year level course, that is basic mechanical engineering, you might have studied the non-flow processes, and in the non-flow processes various processes were there: constant pressure process, constant volume process, constant temperature process, adiabatic process, polytropic process. So among that, if we are following reversible adiabatic process, then for that you can write the relation between pressure, volume and temperature. That is what we will write down. Okay. So here, this reversible adiabatic compression process, for that what I can write? I can write T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to gamma minus 1. Okay. So that I can write. And from 3 to 4 what I can write? That is also reversible adiabatic expansion process. So I can write T3 by T4 is equal to V4 by V3 raised to gamma minus 1, right? Okay. Now here if you observe, then this V1 and this V4 will be same. Observe the PV diagram, students. V1 and V4 both are same, see, because it is straight vertical line on the V axis, right? And same way V2 and V3 are same, right? That you can also observe over here in the PV diagram. That is why this, on this equation, this V1 is same and V4 is same, right? V2 is same and V3 is same. That means for these two equations, the right hand side of these equations are same, right? So that means you can compare the left hand sides of the equation. Okay. Now you might have question, okay, sir, how have you written this equation of TV, right? So that is from PVT correlation. So remember students, for any reversible adiabatic process, you can write this equation as P2 by P1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to gamma is equal to T2 by T1 raised to gamma upon gamma minus 1. In this equation, I have applied the combination, I have took the combination of these two, that is volume and temperature. Here you can see this gamma and this gamma can get cancelled out if you have same power. Just forget about this right now. Okay, let us forget about this right now. So if you will take these two combination, then gamma and gamma will get cancelled out. And if you will make T2 by T1 as the subject, then this power, that is 1 upon gamma minus 1, will go opposite side of the equal to sign. That is why the power will become gamma minus 1. So that is why V1 by V2 will have the power gamma minus 1. You can observe that over here in this equation. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now, this is known as PVT correlation. Remember students, PV and T correlation. Okay, now, so here you can see, as we were discussing, the equations that are over here, both equations are having right hand side same. So you can compare these two left hand sides. That is why I have compared this on over here. That is why T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. Now what I will do, I will rearrange the terms. So I can write T2 by T3 by T2 is equal to T4 by T1. Sir, how have you rearranged the term? Simple. See, I have to cut this T2 in the denominator and I have to this T4 in the numerator, because you know according to the rule of mathematics you can interchange that, right? So that is how you can write like this. Okay, now I will do what? Now in the next step I will just do minus 1 on the both sides. That is also right from the mathematical perspective, that I am adding minus 1 on the both sides. Because if I will do so, see, this can also be neglected and this can also be neglected. So the net effect will be 0. Okay, one more thing. If you have doubts on how this can be neglected, see, this is -1. If you will take this -1 on the other side of the equal to sign, then it will be +1. So -1 and +1 will make 0. So that is nothing but same equation like this. That means if you are adding -1 on both the side, so the equation will remain same. Okay, so that is what I want to convey. So now here if you will take LCM of this thing, then what you can write, T3 minus T2 divided by T2, right? I can write T3 minus T2, right? T3 minus T2 divided by T2. I can write like this. That is equivalent to what? Now let us take LCM on this side also. T4 minus T1 divided by T1. Okay. Now let us rearrange the terms. So for rearranging the term, what we will do? We will take this T4 minus T1 on this denominator and we will take this T2 as the numerator on the other side. Okay, so let us do that. Observe this. Okay, this step is not written. I will write the next step directly. So observe the next step. What will be the next step after the arrangement? The next step will be like this. See, T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2 is equal to T1 by T2, as I have already told you. Okay, now you know that T1 minus T2 is what? T1 minus T2 is what? Simple. Sorry, T1 by T2 is what? You can see that T1 by T2 is equal to V2 by V1 raised to gamma minus 1 from this equation, right? You can appreciate that. Okay, so now further, efficiency of Otto cycle is what? Efficiency of Otto cycle is what? Simple. See, this was the equation for efficiency of Otto cycle. Now we have the value of this whole term, that is T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2. That is equivalent to what? That is equivalent to V2 by V1 raised to gamma minus 1. So we will substitute the value over here. So efficiency of Otto cycle will be 1 minus V2 by V1 raised to gamma minus 1. Here, one thing you should note, that V1 and V2 is what? So V1 and V2 is, see, observe the PV diagram. V1 is the volume before compression and V2 is what? Volume after compression. Okay, so if you will take the ratio of this V1 divided by V2, then that ratio is known as compression ratio, students. You might be familiar with the word compression ratio. So let us define. V1 by V2 is what? V1 is volume at the beginning of compression and V2 is what? Volume at the end of the compression, right? So that is generally denoted by R or RK. Different authors will use different notations. Okay. So here V1 by V2 is defined. So let us substitute the value of R over here. So obviously we have here V2 by V1, so we will write V1 upon R. So efficiency of Otto cycle will be what? 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1. Okay students, I hope you are clear up to this point. So that is how you can derive the efficiency equation for Otto cycle. Now effect of compression ratio and efficiency on compression ratio and gamma on Otto cycle efficiency. So let us understand the effect over here, students. So let us plot this diagram. On the y-axis we have taken efficiency of Otto cycle and on the x-axis we have taken compression ratio. So here you can see compression ratio is the main parameter for the change of efficiency. So let us understand that. See what will happen. Here let us say if I will increase the compression ratio, then what will happen? If I will increase the compression ratio, then this is 1 upon R. So this whole 1 upon R term will decrease. Okay, if I will increase the compression ratio, then 1 upon R whole term will decrease. Now you have 1 minus this whole term. Now see, this whole term is decreasing. So that means 1 minus this whole term is decreasing. That means your total overall term will increase. Okay, you have to think this logically. Okay, so keep that in your mind. Okay, you can take example of anything. See, if I will see 1 minus take 0.9 for example and take 1 minus 0.5. Okay, so that means what? 1 minus 0.5 will give you 0.5 and 1 minus 0.9 will give you 0.1. So that means the lower this value, the higher will be your efficiency. That I want to convey. Okay, and how this value can be lowered? This value can be lowered if you take higher compression ratio. Okay, so that you can see, observe over here that let us say if you have gamma is equal to 1.4 for any gamma is equal to 1.4 is for air, okay, where your fluid is air. Okay, so for air, if you take gamma as 1.4, then as you can see, if you will increase the compression ratio, then efficiency is increasing. See, right? So as soon as you will increase the compression ratio, the efficiency is also increasing over here. But after a certain time, what will happen? If you will increase the compression ratio, the efficiency will not be increased drastically. See, that is why you can see this slope is nearly coming horizontal like this. Okay, so that is the saturation for this. That means in petrol engine, in Otto cycle, if you increase the compression ratio beyond certain limit, then your efficiency increase will not be that much significant. Okay, so keep that thing in your mind. And also you can observe that one thing is what, one result is what, if you will increase the R, that is compression ratio, then efficiency will increase. And second result is what, if you will increase the gamma, then also the efficiency will increase. Now what is gamma? Gamma is equal to nothing but ratio of Cp divided by Cv. Okay students, Cp divided by Cv. And Cp and Cv is what you might be familiar. Cp is specific heat at constant pressure and Cv is specific heat at constant volume. Okay, so the ratio for Cp/Cv will be different from fluid to fluid. So for air the ratio is 1.4, for carbon dioxide the ratio is 1.3, and for ethane the ratio is 1.2. So just for example and understanding I have shown to you. Okay, so keep this thing in your mind. Now one more thing, the question might be asked, okay, why you cannot increase the efficiency or the compression ratio of the Otto cycle beyond certain limit? Why you cannot increase the compression ratio? Let us understand that phenomena. So for understanding that, we will observe this diagram as shown on the screen. So during normal combustion, what will happen? As soon as the piston will reach to the top dead center, the spark will take place, and due to that spark, the combustion will normally start. Now, if you will increase the compression ratio, that means what? Observe. Recall the definition of compression ratio. Definition of compression ratio is what? R is equal to V1 divided by V2. Okay, so that means you have to either increase the V1, okay, or you have to decrease the V2. That means you have to increase the total volume of the cylinder, or you have to decrease the clearance volume. But you have limitation. Okay, you do not cannot decrease the clearance volume beyond certain limit. So you have to ultimately increase the cylinder volume. Okay, so that is why what will happen? If you will increase the compression ratio R, then the temperature inside the cylinder cavity will increase, pressure and temperature. So when the pressure and temperature inside the cylinder cavity will increase, then what will happen as a result? As a result, before, see, this was the position for top dead center. So before reaching the top dead center, the piston has not reached to the top dead center, okay. But before reaching the top dead center, what will happen? The pressure and temperature inside the cavity has reached to a point which is equivalent to self-ignition temperature of the petrol or fuel. Okay, that means what, sir? What is the self-ignition temperature? Self-ignition temperature means combination of pressure and temperature such that the pressure will start igniting by itself. Okay, that is known as self-ignition temperature. So if you increase the compression ratio, then the pressure and temperature inside the cylinder cavity will increase such that before reaching the piston to the top dead center, the pressure and temperature of the cylinder cavity will reach to the point which is equivalent to the self-ignition temperature of the fuel. So that means what? As a result, what will happen, sir? As a result, the fuel will start combusting without even providing the spark. Before providing the spark, see, ideally the spark shall occur when the piston will reach to this position. But here the piston has not reached to that position. But before that, the spark has already, the combustion has already started. Why? Because the temperature and pressure inside the cavity is such that which is equivalent to the self-ignition temperature of the fuel. Okay, so that is why what will happen, sir? That is advantageous? No, that is not advantageous. That is why, because what will happen? A small pockets of combustion. See, you can see these yellow colors. Small pockets of combustion will take place at different places. So that is inappropriate combustion. Okay, unorganized combustion. And due to that, what will happen? Due to that, see, when the piston will reach to the actual position, that is TD, top dead center, and then the spark will produce. So at that time, almost half of the fuel is already burnt. Okay, and remaining half will start burning. So due to that, what will happen? Due to that, the inside surface of the cylinder cavity and the top surface of the piston will experience vibrations, and the cavity as well as the piston top will experience the erosion of the material over the time. And due to that, what will happen? Some vibrations will occur, and due to the vibrations, some third sound will occur. That is known as knocking or detonation. Okay, and due to this knocking or detonation, what will happen? It will tend to remove the material. See, because what will happen? The combustion is taking place anywhere in the cylinder cavity. The premature combustion, that is known as premature combustion. So this premature combustion is taking place anywhere in the piston cylinder cavity, and due to that, it will tend to erode the material of the cylinder as well as piston top. And over the time, if you will practice this again and again, if same practice is followed again and again, then it will damage the material of the piston as well as cylinder, and that is harmful. Okay, so that is why you cannot increase the compression ratio of the piston cylinder cavity for Otto cycle beyond certain limit. Sir, can you show us the damaged piston? Yes. See, this is the diagram of the damaged piston which have experienced the knocking or detonation. So this is the piston top. So see, you can see how it is damaged. Okay, so that is why it is not advantageous. Okay, so today we are going to keep up to this point. Thank you.